Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Jitsi Community Call. I'm going to start with a public service announcement. 8x8 has now officially, well, has now launched Jazz Components. This is, to put it another way, the ability for you to run your own Jitsi and then very extremely painlessly attach to the 8x8 network if you want to use telephony. The reason this is called Jazz Components and not Jazz Telephony is because telephony is just the first of many components that we plan to make available that way. We think that next we're going to have recorders and live streamers, and then other things as well. There's plenty of discussion going on. The idea is that anything where the privacy equation changes a little bit, you're a little bit more comfortable to have other people host it for you, but then still keep the most important, most private conversations internally to your own organization, well, that provides the perfect middle ground. So check it out on jazz.8x8.vc. That's JAAS.868.vc. Jitsi as a service. Check it out and let us know if you have any problems with it or any comments. The official announcement is going to follow shortly, but here we are. Yep. Was there a question?
Emily said I put the link in the chat.
Thank you, Sue. Now we're moving on to the next part, which is this here again, Jitsi is part of the generous Google Summer of Code program. And now Saul is going to update us on that.
Stream is on.
Oh, there we go. So I believe we have a few mentors and also maybe a few students. I know, at least in the projects I participated, couldn't make it, mainly because I didn't warn people enough in advance and some are on holidays. So I will give an update on the projects I partake in, and then I'll hand over the mic to the rest of the people who would like to give an update themselves. So I'll start from the React Native SDK. So this project is aimed at giving a working React Native SDK. This is mainly because there's a few third-party solutions that layer on top of the native SDKs, and that has a number of problems. So we decided to try to see if we got enough interest to do it. And we did get enough interest in the form of a Google Summer of Code contributor. Philip from Berlin is working on it. And so far, progress is tedious but good. Most of this project is spent in build shenanigans. And great progress has been made so far, specifically on iOS, which I think is the more painful platform for that specific project. I should be well on track to be finished during Google Summer of Code. Next, we got video background effects. So this is kind of a generic way to call what we have on the web as virtual backgrounds or blur. The idea here, the scope of this project is to add the capability to inject external video filtering to the React Native WebRTC package, which we maintain and use for powering the mobile apps WebRTC needs. So the idea is to create a way to inject custom effects, and then this way applications such as Jitsi could use whichever means, either platform native or maybe TF Lite or other libraries to implement whatever filters they want and be able to use them. So far, we also have good progress in there. In this one, we started out from Android. And in parallel, without our knowledge, there was also a community contribution related to iOS. So the idea will be that once we are comfortable with the Android part, we're gonna kind of bring in the iOS side. And the result of this project, of which I'm hopeful we will finish on time as well, would be to have the ability to register all of these effects in the WebRTC library. This doesn't mean that we're going to get blur day after tomorrow. In Jitsi, it means that we will have the means to inject such video filters. Let's see, which more do we have? We got a fun one, the music bot. So this was not something we had proposed as a project, but came in via surprise, and it was cool and got accepted. It's about creating a standalone application that is controllable from chat commands and allows to inject music in the meeting. So far, this has proven to be more challenging than we thought. The, the challenge is that unlike on Linux, where you can specify what ALSA device, for instance, you want to play on, there's no such a thing on Mac OS or Windows. And we're trying out different ideas to be able to capture the output of the Chromium window that is running with Selenium so that we could play anything like YouTube videos or Spotify videos or something else, and then feed that into the meeting. So far with some duct tape, we can use virtual cable on Windows and Black Hole on Mac OS, and that's working. And we're trying to figure out if there's a good way to smooth that experience to create something a little bit more packaged. Still hopeful that we will crack this one, and also good progress was made. And the last one, and let's see, I don't think I see any highlight here, so it's a Vue.js SDK. So as some of you probably know, we created the React SDK, which is a wrapper around the iframe API. And this contributor submitted a proposal for doing the same thing, but for Vue.js. It is not a framework we use in our projects, but it is one that keeps on coming these days. Lots of people are excited about it. And so we thought that why not? The project would be to create the SDK in the same way as the React SDK, still layered on top of the iframe one. And we also have progress in there. There is a few quirks in doing Vue.js 3 packages on TypeScript, I believe. Some hurdles that had to be run through, but we are hopeful that we will also finish this one on time. And with that, Boris or whoever else can provide an update is welcome to go for it.
We have the remaining project is Alex's work on Prometheus, and we talked about it last week, and we don't have any updates on it.
Excellent. Well, that concludes GTalk.
Is there any other updates that the team would like to make? All right. Opening the microphone to the floor, are there any questions or comments from the community? Oh, right. Well, then, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, Suhu.
There was a question in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Let me see.
Adding this to the URL and Jitsi to Electron app image does not disable chat smileys. Is that the correct sentence? Well, I forgot we had a way to disable chat smileys. Do we have them? Yes, we do. So actually, I see Chris is here.
Yes, I wanted to say hi anyway, so I'll take that question with me, and because I think there might be a string bool issue still in some of the config overrides that could cause the correct syntax to not work. Other than that, it looks all right, but I'll if you post the same thing on the issue tracker, or I'll track it separately on the issue tracker, and then updated there with the response. Other than that, just want to say hi and an update on the Electron app anyway. So we are now having one small update in the August release. That is, Wayland finally has some window decorations, but unfortunately screen sharing and things under Linux Wayland is still very much with issues, and still better with X11 or under Wayland with X Wayland.
Thanks, Chris. And for those who may not know, Chris here has actually taken over maintenance of the Electron app, has been doing all the releases for a while and automated most of it. So thanks a lot for your work. It's very nice to meet you in person in the call.
Thank you, Chris.
So
And
thanks,
hi, Chris.
thanks for your help.
I believe there weren't any other questions. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for participating. And see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.